So Civil War is a very interesting experience for me. It gave me a lot of the things I was looking for with this movie, but it also kept away the thing I was most looking for. And before we get into that, I'd love for you guys to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can get more reviews from me. And also check out that join button for the new channel memberships that I have that will give you exclusive content, including stickers, memes, behind the scenes, and everything in between. I did not mean to rhyme all that, but you came to my channel. You came to hear me rap. No, you didn't. So getting to this film, what I particularly liked about it was all the technical aspects of the movie. The cinematography is amazing. I think they'll get an award for the sound design. The acting is superb, led by Kirsten Dunst, Stephen McKinley Henderson, Wagner, Moura, and Kaylee Stanley, with a little bit of a feature from Jesse Plemons. There are plenty of great performers in this movie, and they perform up to their standard. In terms of the story and the movie in of itself, it's essentially following 4 journalists as they journey down to Washington, D.C. to interview the president about his actions during the course of this Civil War. Why is he shooting at American citizens is one of the chief questions among many. And what they have to do is travel a long way from New York to Washington, D.C. because it is a war-torn area all along the eastern seaboard. I give the movie high marks for the attention that it sets. The movie is genuinely scary at points, and some of the sound design, like I mentioned before, will get you out of your seat. It's so loud at points. And I think it's disturbingly loud to help you get into the atmosphere and immerse yourself in that type of situation. All of those elements, including the action in this movie, which is a very interesting thing to call good, because it's good, it's well shot, it's well done, but it's not like you're cheering it on like, yeah, fire that missile at the fellow American citizen. It's not like that. It's a very interesting, complicated feeling that you have towards it, because in a lot of ways you don't want to see any of this happening. It's not like, oh, there's the good guys and there's the bad guys. The movie doesn't position itself in that way. In a lot of ways, it stays out of the conversation of who's right or wrong through the POV of these war photographers taking these photos of literal battles, taking photos of dead bodies and people in this conflict. Their POV is almost neutral. They don't care for the people who die on the side that is allowing them to shoot, and they also don't care for the people who are on the side of the people who are trying to kill them. They don't care about none of that. They just want to chronicle what's going on. And for me, the POV of these photographers also mirror the POV of our director, Alex Garland. It really feels like he's saying, here's a bunch of events that are happening. Make of it what you will. Now, in my personal preference, this is a personal preference, I'm not particularly fond of that type of storytelling. If you're going to tell me a story, give me your opinion on that story. I'm not here to figure out what I think about it. I already know what I think about these types of events. What do you think about it? What's your opinion? For me, that's where the movie kind of falls apart. It just feels like a sequence of events, beautifully shot, by the way, that are taking place until we get to the end. It's violence, and there's a little bit of quiet, and then there's violence and a little bit of quiet, and maybe some dialogue here or there to just express how indifferent a lot of these people are to the war. They're just trying to survive, which makes sense. But at the same time, I want to know what your opinion is. I could disagree with your opinion, or I could agree with your opinion, but have an opinion. And as I stated, that's my main gripe with the film. I don't really care about these characters because they don't care about what's going on. Not until it's opportunistic for the movie to come to a close and kind of want to say something at the end, almost. But throughout the majority of this film, it's just like, oh man, we really got to get the shots of these murders of each other. It's like, okay, that's not interesting. So while the movie is well shot and it's gorgeous, while the sound design is amazing, and while the acting is phenomenal, I'm sitting here like, but why though? That's how I felt through the majority of the film. Why is this important to me as an audience member? Why are these characters important to me? And also, why is it important for most of the deaths that we see on screen to be minorities? Violent, horrifying deaths, basically, mostly, all happen to minorities. I would say it's 90-10. So I leave this movie feeling well shot, well acted, well made, but why? So how many sparks would I give this film? I'm going to give this movie 3 sparks out of 5. I don't think it's terrible. It's clearly well made, but it also feels like it's really got nothing to say other than, what do you guys think? Isn't it hard and terrifying to be a photojournalist in this situation? Don't you see how callous that they have to be to take pictures of dead bodies? I don't care about that. The movie's called Civil War. Tell me more about the Civil War. So that's how I felt about the film. Maybe you feel differently, and that's totally fine. But let me know in the comments why that might be, and I'll talk to you guys next time.